Cinema in our country, it binds all of us into one religion. So I'm happy to be in that function today evening. On this occasion, I would like to pay my tributes to all those from the late Dada Saheb Phalke to the filmmakers who have contributed to the emergence of such a religion without boundaries in our country. Today's chief guest, Sri Ramesh Sippy, whose Sholay made such a seminal contribution to this process of integration. His film was such a landmark that the history of Indian cinema is chronicled as before Sholay and after Sholay. We are honored to have him with us today as the chief guest. Thank you, Sri Sippy, for your works and your presence here today amidst us. Karl Marx has said religion is the opium of the masses. I have my own difference of opinion with him on this score, but cinema could be said the opium of the masses in our country, given the passion for it in our country. It's really the opium of the masses. That is why one could explain the production of over 2,000 cinemas every year in our country. It's a record, the largest in the world. One film is made every 4 to 5 hours in our country. Really stunning. That is a great creative activity of India, that is Bharat. Cinema speaks with the language of universality. Though the storytelling, documentary, realism or fiction, cinema by nature demands a universal language. Though its form of communication, mostly visual-based, the audience engaged with the world around them and rises beyond the limitations of his social and geographical boundaries. Here lies the potential of cinema as an instrument of social change. Given such values of impact of cinema, perhaps this is the occasion for all of us to briefly reflect on the course of evolution of cinema in India and where it is headed today. Since the making of the first film Raja Harishchandra by the late Dada Saheb Phalke in 1913 as a Mookie silent production, Indian cinema has undergone great transformation through process of cyclical changes in respect of theme and technology also. On this occasion, we need to reflect if our cinema is only a means of cheap entertainment without any social concern. Perhaps not, and it has not been so in the past as well. Our cinema cannot afford to just regale the masses. It has to have a larger social responsibility. Why is it so? In a country like India, with its several social problems, when cinema has emerged as a powerful medium, a case can be made for social realism in our films. Cinema is a work of art, and there has to be a certain takeaway from the audience who give 2 hours of their valuable time for watching a film, if not more. Cinema is the most powerful of various mass media that promote rapid diffusion of ideas. These ideas take root and manifest themselves consciously or otherwise in relaxing environment of cinema, halls or homes when the audience are more skeptical. Friends, cinema is a message. It can be for social change. We have several traditions and practices based on the ignorance that adversely impact the change and transformation. In line with the changing times, I have earlier made out a case for films to carry a message. Social change is all about alteration of social structure, cultural patterns over time. Social structure is all about persistent pattern of relationship among individuals and groups in the form of stereotypes. You would agree with me the need for breaking these stereotypes to enable change and advancement as time passes by, demanding modernization of ideas and thought process. From this perspective, cinema can be an effective tool of social change. The cinema should preserve our culture, our heritage, our tradition. आदि काल से, वेद काल से, पुण्य काल से, पुराण काल से जो पूर्वजों ने हमको दिया और विरासत में हमको मिला, उसी को हम आगे ले जाना है. हमारा नई पीढ़ी को भी हमारा संस्कृति के बारे में, हमारा सभ्यता के बारे में, हमारा संस्कार के बारे में, हमारा ट्रेडिशंस के बारे में अवगत कराना हमारा कर्तव्य है. The best medium is the cinema, according to me. Friends, though majority of our films over the years have been formulaic means of entertainment, cinema in our country has contributed to social change. I'm not saying anything new. The first 50 years of independent cinema furthered the cause of cultural awakening and also nationalism, besides being an agent of social change by questioning the orthodoxy and by remaining Indian, this has happened in two broad ways. Firstly, from the silent cinema onwards, that is beginning with Raja Harishchandra, our films projected anecdotes from Hindu mythologies and glorified ancient themes, resurrecting the minds of the people, their glorious past and traditions. Raja Satya Harishchandra, speaking the truth, that's part of Indian culture. That is the first picture in India. Secondly, further to arrive at sound, Indian cinema observed on one hand technology from the West and aesthetic from the Indian folklore on the other. As a result, our cinema has come to an amalgamation of song, dance and dialogue. This has been a medication of traditions of our folklore and the tradition of Sanskrit theatre. The first talkie from Alam Ara, released in 1931, is a faithful work on these lines. Broadly, our cinema moved on from mythologies to social films, including parallel cinema and the present so-called mainstream popular cinema. In the process, what should have been mainstream with the focus on social issues became parallel and formulate entertainment. With all its aberrations became the mainstream. This calls for immediate intervention to ensure a balance between entertainment and engineering social change. Social films came into light in our cinema, began portraying contemporary life. Films were made with a conscious effort to convey every social message to the people of pre-independent India. They include Himanshu Rai's Achyuta Kanya of 1939 that portrayed love between a Harijan girl and a caste boy, Master Vinayaka's Brandi Ki Bottle that propagated Gandhi's ideas of prohibition. Rama Brahmam's Raitu Bidda, son of a farmer in Telugu that questioned the Jamindari system. B.N. Reddy's Sumangali in Telugu advocated how widow marriages. And B.N. Sarkar's Udayar Pate in Bengali, J.W.H. Vadiya's Amar Raja that spoke for democracy, Prabhat Films' Dharmatma that questioned the untouchability, K. Subramanyam's Balayogini in Tamil that challenged the orthodoxy, and this is Tyaga Bhumi that promoted national sentiment that led to its ban by the British, etc. So this has been our tradition. Cinema for social change. Cinema not only for entertainment, but also for enlightenment. Golden age of Indian cinema during 40s till 60s witnessed the emergence of parallel cinema in Bengali, which was pioneered by the spirit of realism and modernity. The films of Sri Satyajit Ray and Sri Ritvik Ghatak were marked by social significance and artistic sincerity. Pathar Panchali became the eternal as it captured the transformation of the old ways thinking into modern ways. Ritvik Ghatak's in Ajantrik addressed the concept of alienation and isolation. He raised the voice against society and moving away from being a community of living of individuals. Satyajit Ray's films have a humanistic touch, as he used the craft of cinema to get in deepest part of human heart and extract emotions from there. Are today's filmmakers touching the hearts of the people in that way? Let us all ponder, let us all introspect about the same. Most of you know the answer. I need not explain in detail. Our films are moving away from the realism. Friends, Mother India, released in 1957, brought the mother to the center stage of cinema. But how are women presented in films now? That's a matter for concern again. Has the stereotype portrayal of women undergone a major change? There has been some change with films like Queen and Cocktail accepting women on their terms, but a lot needs to change still. We have seen a lot of films also just now. It's an woman's empowerment. The theme also is very good and apt, and it's really inspiring. And the choreography done for the same is really very appreciative. I have read an article by a film critic. I wanted to understand the evolution of cinema. He noted that presentation of women in our films have changed from predominantly voluptuous, occupied with sensual pleasure, to size 0 for on-screen acceptability. Is this a change? That is a criticism made by one of the writers. Friends, film making should be inspired by humanistic touch. A film shall be illuminate the mind and heart. It should promote critical thinking. Cinema should engage audience both intellectually as well as emotionally. It should expose the people to ideas, problems, challenges, developments, answers happening in the society, and think critically and look for alternate solutions and actions. No doubt, entertainment itself is a big takeaway. But what kind of entertainment? It should not be based on the formula of a few fighting scenes, song sequences spread over without any rhythm or reason. and a comedy track that bears no relation to the narration? Should it be like that only? While our films shifted to romantic themes in the 60s, Bobby brought young love into our screen. Since then, our films have been revolving around boy meets the girl narrations. We need to ponder why it's happening all the time. About 2,500 years ago, the great philosopher argued that the purpose of tragedy is purification and the purpose of comedy is social criticism. He was perhaps referring to the theater of his times, but this is relevant to our cinema even today. Our cinema needs to coexist with reality. It needs to pass the test of 2 R's, that is, reason and reality. These are the 2 R's, reason and reality test has to be applied to every cinema. Many of our commercial films are crashing because they lack in creativity in handling a theme. I am afraid our filmmakers are getting too lazy, and as a result, content is becoming a casualty. I don't get much time to watch films, but to the extent I know, very few of creative productions that are based on reason and reality fail commercially. This is again a matter to ponder over. The people, the audience also has to think about seriously. Sri Ramesh Shippi is with us today. His action flick Sholay was a huge success because it was not formulaic in the strict sense of thought. It was a commercial production. Certain relationships, that values were so finely woven into the theme that people across the country wove it up and made it a landmark film. Creativity, reality, humanistic touch and approach, sensitivity to the realities, gender justice, respect to the elders, keeping the values and traditions of our culture, they should be part of the cinema. After all, cinema has to be a reflection of the society in reality. So that's my appeal to the cinema makers. I am not here to give you any lecture or any commandments from the government that you should make films like this and all. If you go by the advice of the government and make films, it will never succeed. You know that also. Cinema has to be cinema. But the cinema also must have a message. This is what I am trying to say. What is happening in the recent past, obscenity, vulgarity, violence, double meanings, they are also hurting the society socially. We have to think about it seriously. The time has come for all of us. Why not we go back to values? There are a number of films where there is no violence, no vulgarity. No violence, no vulgarity. But still, the films ran for days and years together. The great film Lavakusha went for 365 days or more than that when I was a student. Because the actors also used to act, and they have a great talent. The way they used to act, the films of which we have seen earlier, Dr. Sivaji Ganeshan, Gemini Ganeshan, M.G. Ramachandran, or late N.T. Ramarao, or A. Nageswar Rao, to Prithviraj Kapoor, to Raj Kapoor, to Devanand, to Dilip Kumar, to the present recent generation of actors, Amitabh Bachchan, who is a living legend of an actor, a great actor in front of us, even acting at this age also. You can mobilize people, you can influence people without of these things. Even without touching heroine, you can create romance. Without touching heroine. By your expressions. You have the capacity to express. The expression need not be by words. Expression can be through eyes. Expression can be through nose. Expression can be through lips without opening the lips. Expression can be by your looks. If your looks are good, the way you can convey the message, it will be very romantic. We have seen a lot of cinemas also earlier. But nowadays, what is happening, we are all seeing. I don't want to go on that. Some of them may get offended also. I can think of a few films of recent times that were both entertaining and stimulating. 3 Idiots changed the perception about the way students should look at marks. PK held a mirror to society and raised several uncomfortable questions. Oh, Lucky, oh, looked at the nature of aspirations of contemporary India. Lage Raho, Munna Bhai was a fabulous way of weaving Gandhian message into the hearts of the people. Munna Bhai MBBS that came earlier highlighted the need for human touch among the doctors more than mere ability to wield scissors on the patient. Who killed Jessica Lal propagated Candle March as a way of protest and taught people to seek justice. There could be several other such examples. So the point that emerges is that cinema needs to have a strong storyline and a proper treatment that touches the heart of the audience. This is needed to be needed to inform, educate, empower, enlighten the lovers of cinema. The music is an addition. The dialogue is an addition. The basic things, as I mentioned, are above. There lies the opportunity to make cinema as an instrument of social change. So the filmmakers need to shed laziness and give up formula films for the industry to survive, and that too in a manner relevant to the people and society. During my childhood, hero means hero till I become adult and I get children, the same hero used to continue. But today is what is happening. The hero, today hero, you are not able to remember what is his name tomorrow. Some heroes and heroines are one day hero or half day heroine. That is the trend now. We have to reverse that trend. Where are we lacking? The young talent. We have to ponder over this. And we must really remember and get inspiration from the legendaries of Indian cinema. Legendaries of Indian cinema, they could not show. I wish all of them should have been focused today or in the course of the 7-8 days. The legendary personalities. We are here. We have just now felicitated Mr. Balasubramaniam. The felicitation is not to felicitate him. The felicitation is to give inspiration to the new generation, to get inspiration. Here is a felicitation. Look at Balasubramaniam, even of singing 40,000 songs, spending 50 years, still is young in mind, young in heart, young in tone, young in sound, and young in music. So these are the living examples for all of us. I know him from my student days. Incidentally, he happens to be from the same town where I hailed. He had a very melodious tone. I did not have. I have a very firm, cut tone. Sometimes my opponents get offended also because of my tone and tenor, but I can't help it. I always want to be frank. To give an illustration of the way cinema sets the trend and influence the people, when the legendary N.T. Ramarao began wearing the so-called bell-bottom pants, every youth followed him and the tailors had a tough time. Bell-bottom pants, that was the fashion. Friends, NTR immortalized himself by portraying Rama and Krishna in such a manner that at least the people of two Telugu states believe in both of them were born and not in Ayodhya or Madura, they are born in Andhra Pradesh after seeing N.T. Ramarao films. Such is the massive impact he made on the people of that region. Krishna means, who is the Krishna? We have not seen him. But the moment you think of Krishna, N.T. Ramarao comes on their mind. That is the impact of a great actor and creative action. As we talk of social change, a national project of behavioral change of unprecedented scale has been set in motion in our country. On the 8th of this month, in the form of a withdrawal of high-value currency of notes of 500 and 1,000 denomination. This change process touches the lives of all citizens. The Prime Minister wants to have a real Swachha Bharat. Swachha mana clean, Tana mana dhana, Tanu body, clean the body, clean the surroundings, clean your home, घर को, दुकान को, मकान को, मंदिर को, मस्जिद को, गुरुद्वारा को, चर्च को, सबको साफ करना. नंबर 1. तनु, मन को साफ करना. मन कैसा साफ करेंगे? भ्रूण हत्या बंद करना. बेटी बचाओ, बेटी पढ़ाओ, बच्चों को सिखाना, पढ़ाना, उनको स्कूल भेजना. नहीं तो अनटचेबिलिटी को समाप्त करना, महिलाओं को पर अत्याचार बंद करना. ये मन में परिवर्तन आना चाहिए. अंत में धन, money also has to be white so that you can really sleep well. But today you are seeing the position, some people are not able to even sleep or weep also publicly because of the predicament they have because they have a lot of unaccounted money. So the cleansing of India is going on. The Swachha Bharat taken up by the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi. There is a campaign going on in the country. I am not talking of politics. There is a campaign for Modi, not Narendra Modi. Modi means not Narendra Modi. Modi. Making of developed India, MODI, making of developed India. That is the campaign going on. Let us all join the campaign, clean the public life, clean ourselves, set good examples, create role models, and become inspiration to other people. Let us learn from others also. Nothing wrong to learn from other countries. We have chosen the theme of the Korean film today. We are celebrating it. We call the ambassador of Korea. He was kind enough to come here because we believe in Vasudaika Kutumbam. India was once upon a time Vishwa Guru because we had such a knowledge and talent and Takshashila, Nalanda, all those universities. They used to educate the people. And today, time has come once again for the younger generation, new generation in the film industry to come forward, create more creativity with a meaning, with a message, with a proper understanding of solution to the problems. and then entertain the people in their own way. Friends, it was exactly 70 years ago, even after 7 decades, this people started working for the society. I would like to inform you that early in 1946, late B.R. Pantulu made a film by the name Vijaya Lakshmi on the first demonetization in our country. It may be news to many of you. The first film on demonetization was made by B.R. Pantulu in 1946 on the first demonetization in our country. In that production, he brilliantly presents the negative role of money sharks working for their own interest at the cost of common man. It was exactly 70 years ago. Even after 7 decades, our people are still suffering from such greedy sharks. That's why the Prime Minister set this motion of current process of change. I understand there will be some bad money everywhere, in every part of the society, in politics, in public life, even in cinema also. We have to get rid of it at the earliest so that we can have a peaceful life and we can have a progressive future. Friends, lastly, coming back, this Suddhikaran, cleansing, set in motion by the Prime Minister, should add good to the film industry also. I'm happy the first people to welcome the move of the Prime Minister are from the cinema industry. Those heroes and directors and other people, they have welcomed it, they have gone on Twitter, welcoming the decision of the Prime Minister. Coming back to the topics of cinema, it is a matter of pride that despite some shortcomings, Indian films have remained popular not only in our country, but have extended its boundaries in other parts of the world as well. Of all the Afro-Asian countries that once British colonies, organized film industry took birth only in India. It is our collective responsibility to ensure that this creative sector continues to be vibrant in a socially relevant manner. Films can go a long way towards arousing national consciousness and also utilizing the energies of youth in social construction and nation building by successful adoption of good moral and educative themes. I don't have to elaborate on the importance of film industry from the point of view of employment generation and its contribution to economic growth. We have taken certain measures to support the industry in the form of a single window film station office in the National Film Development Corporation and National Film Heritage Mission also. Government is committed to work with the industry in a more meaningful, collaborative manner. About the uncensored films also, just now I heard, many people were earlier disappointed, but this time it has been assured no censor. People will decide ultimately whatever to happen about those that opportunity has been given. With regard to improving the Cinematography Act, the government is actively considering the Sam Benegal Committee report and also Justice Mudgal Committee report. They will be kept in mind while finalizing our report to the understanding the present situation, present challenges. Friends, 30 representatives of film industry, from various activities. They have come and had a roundtable meeting with me in Delhi through FICCI. They have suggested they have highlighted certain problems. I have asked my officials to come out with the appropriate response to addressing the same. I am aware of some of the issues concerning certification. As I told you, they will also be addressed. Friends, lastly, we are very proud to have with us the veteran, Sri S.P. Balasubramaniam, Sri Panditaradyula Balasubramaniam. His father, Sri Panditaradyula Sambamurthy, used to go around the streets of Nellore during my childhood and used to sing bhajans, Tyagaraja Bhajana, to create that sort of spirituality in my town of Nellore. I remember that great man and I salute that great man's memory who has given birth to another great person here, Sri S.P. Balasubramaniam. And I am happy that this time they have selected him to get that award. It's an honor given to the merit. Friends, we are also delighted to have with us Sri Kon Tek M. We again feel honored to felicitate him with the Lifetime Achievement Award because he has also made a big mark in his own country. And I would like this occasion to be an opportunity for this August Assembly of creative persons rededicate themselves to the guiding Indian cinema towards promotion of national fervor, social and emotional integration of citizens of our country, for creation and renewal of life of common man, helping the people with alternative solutions.